Okay, we are live, right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. So, hey everyone, welcome to Layer 5's website call. So, calls happen every Monday at this time. So, we discuss in this call basically all the front end related things across all our Layer 5 projects. So, if you have any agendas or any like PR or issues related to this front end thing, so you are most welcome to add your agendas in the agendas list. I shared this talks link in the chat. So if you miss to add, then you can. So before starting, let's see that if there are any newcomers in the call. I am seeing few newcomers. Let me call their names if I am correct. Jonathan, I think you are joining this first time this call.
Yeah, this is my first time.
Hey Jonathan, would like to tell us about yourself some.
About myself, yeah. I'm a student, and I'm just looking to get some experience with open source. I've done a bit of front end, so that's where I started on the project. Oh, I can turn on the camera. Yeah, and I have a pull request that's on the agenda there. So
Oh, great, then we'll surely discuss it. Great.
Yep. Hey,
Adarsh,
that's great.
I think you have joined.
That's great. Hey, Jonathan, good to have you. Hey, Jonathan, where are you calling in from?
I'm in Seattle.
Oh, nice. All right. Very good.
So
Good, good.
yeah, I'm in the bathroom because it's like 5 a.m. So I'm trying not to
Oh yeah.
wake.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice. Oh, man, it was doubly nice to have you. I mean, that just makes it all the sweeter. Great. Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt too much, Sudhanshu. Just wanted to make sure Jonathan is welcomed and if there are other folks that are new on the call, now's your chance to introduce. Here's your 30 seconds of internet fame. Mohamza,
I am Adarsh.
oh yeah,
Am I
Adash.
audible?
Yep, you are.
Yes. Hi, I'm Adarsh. I'm from India. I'm a third year undergrad student and I'm looking for contributions in open source and learning from.
Nice. All right, very, very good. Short and sweet. Adash, welcome. Have you been on any other calls thus far, or is this your first one?
No, I have joined the newcomers meeting that happened on Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, very good. Thursdays, every Thursday, an hour before this one. It's a great introduction to all of the projects and to a few of the different people in the community as well. So that's good, man. That's good. We didn't scare you away with the first call, so good. All
Hello,
right.
if I may
Yeah,
give it a go.
please.
I am Muhammad Ivan, and I'm calling from Uganda. I've attended a few um, videos before for the newcomers. I have a PR on here, and hopefully I'll have it addressed. I have a bit of experience on the front end and back end as well, though I'm looking forward to contributing more on the front end here. Thank you.
Nice. That's wonderful. Wow, two of the newcomers show up with PRs in hand. That's you guys are you guys are really setting the precedent. Really, you're gonna rock the boat here soon. That's great. That's great. All right. Well, Hamza and
Hello.
anybody else? Yeah, Shale.
Hello, I'm Shara Poojan from India. I am third year undergraduate student at Triple ITM Gwalior. Thrilled to join the community and contribute to its development. Thank you.
Oh no, that's not the same university that Shudanshu goes to, is it? Or is that the other? You said Triple IT Galia?
Triple IT Gwalior, yeah.
Yeah, that's not yours, Sudhanshu,
It's
is it?
different. It's another.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. It's super close. What's yours, Sudhanshu?
It's ITM.
Okay. Is it in?
ITM. It is in Kolkata.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Totally. Okay. I
Kevin is
think
with
we
us.
are. Yeah.
Hey, welcome, Kevin. Hey, we were just giving introductions for the first time, and you are the lucky winner. Kevin, do you want to take a moment and introduce yourself? Just say hi to everybody and tell them.
Uh, yeah, sure. Hey everyone, my name is Kevin, and from past few days, I am learning about the community, like what does actually the project Meshery do, because I want to do contribution. So nowadays, like I am learning, I actually have played with the Meshery playground also today. So and today was this meeting, so I have joined so that I can learn something that how the development is going on and all that thing. So yeah, that's it.
That's great. That's a good reminder for everybody else as well that the Meshery Playground is a hosted instance of Meshery. And it's a great resource because with Meshery, you can not only use Meshery, but you can also touch all of the other CNCF projects. And you don't have to deploy Meshery, it's running for you. I recommend if any of you spend time toward that project, that you take advantage of that resource, the playground. So that's great, Kevin.
Yeah, thanks.
Great. Okay, I think we have covered all the newcomers, so we can move forward. So like, don't forget to write your names in the attendees. I've shared the docs in the chat link, so please add your names also. So let's move forward. First one we have from Dasari. Do we have Dasari on the call? I don't think so. No worries. Let's see his PRs if we can discuss it. Okay. I think there is a small CSS issue he's been fixing related to spacing in the recognition page. I think they are let bits of less space. So if I go to his file changes, it's like a small changes. So anybody can review this PR is now small CSS change if anybody is interested in styling CSS. So I shared this PR link. It's a small CSS fix. Okay, great. Moving forward, we have next agenda from Hargun. Hargun, yeah, we have her in the call. Oh, I think she might have joined, then left. We'll circle back her item because I think she has joined but left.
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
So and I don't think so. Lakshya is also in the call. So I'll discuss some of the assistant issues myself. Okay, talking
Hey,
about
wait.
assistant, there are some newcomers here. So yeah,
Nope. Sorry, you're going to do exactly what I was going to ask you to do, which is introduce assistant.
okay. Okay, please. Should I?
Yes, please. I'm not sure that everyone is familiar with the project.
Okay. So yeah, so basically, if if you're talking about system is like a design system. So we have various projects under layer 5, and you have seen that we like make single same component duplicate everywhere, writing the code same everywhere. So design system is all about make dump all the duplicate components, colors, themes, and hard coding of colors into system. So like we will centrally keeping these all components from the system and importing as a package to other projects. So that is all about system, like having custom components, or if you talk about themes, if you talk about schemas. So this system is like a design system, which everything is being to being consistent with our work. So there are few issues if you go to the this issue sections, like bunch of issues. Few issues you might have hard to find out how to start with because they are the components. If you're not seen the components earlier, from Mesh UI or anywhere else. So you might think that how to start with those issues. So if you excluding that, there are a bunch of issues that you can start with colors, like if you see this create welcome card, right? There are a bunch of issues which you can, when you see, you will get that it's a like a beginner issues, code first issues. Though they are not marked, I'll mark them as a code first issues, which all the newcomers or starting with assistant, they can help to start with. So this is all about Spouse Assistant. And if I come back to the meeting minutes,
Yeah, so on
is
on
anybody
Systent, yeah, I've
takers
got a
or
question. Sorry to interrupt. I've got a question on Systent. Is it, if you look at the project site, I'll drop a link. Rex, do we need help with publishing Systent components? Because when you look at the project site, it looks like, I'm not sure we have 2 or 3 published components, or
Yeah, there currently 2 in there. There have been calls for volunteers for the Moodles page and some other pages that have been recently created. About the components in Systent in the repo, we are supposed to meet today, sometime later on, and we'll finalize the discussions on how many of them are in there and track the progress on how many we are going to give.
Rex, okay, great. Let me interrupt. Rex, we've got a number of people that are on the call that likely could help publish some components. How can they do that? How can they help?
Oh, sure. So I'll have to find the link real quick. I can just drop the link in chat. I don't have the link handy here, but I'll drop it in the chat. There's the link to those 2 or 3 issues like that, where you can actually help to publish those components that have not been published yet. So, and a couple of them will be added to as issues to be worked on subsequently.
Okay. So Shail, did you hear what Rex said? Miss Pujan, Miss Triple IT Gwalior, are you there?
Hello. Yes, I'm there.
Hey, I don't know. Yep. I wonder if this might be an area that you could help out with. There have been a couple of contributors in the past that have been helping both define these reusable components and also get them published onto the project site, so that other project developers can come by and understand the component itself and how it's intended to be used, and the rules of how to employ it inside of the various projects that we have. So a button, for example, which style is supposed to be used and when, it's all defined inside of this design system. There are other components like a form or a modal. Some of that stuff hasn't been taken from this design system here inside of Figma and published onto the project website. I wonder if this is something that you might be able to help out with, or other people on the call as well. And Rex is, I think, highlighting that there's one of those components that is ready to be published is the modal component. So here's an example on the screen. Delete team is like an example use of modal, or create organ environment. Is this of any interest to you? B, does what I'm saying make any sense? C, if you can remember all this, could you understand what Rex was saying? Because I almost couldn't. Okay, let me go over those again. Any interest here?
Well, I can recap what I said if it was not.
Yeah, your voice.
All right, apologies. So I said there are a couple of components.
Rex, wait, I'm sorry. I got 3 questions for Shail.
Okay.
Shail, any interest here?
I will look into it after the meet.
Okay, so
I will go through the Yes, I will go through this after the meet and tell you.
Okay, cool. So that's guess what? The probability that you will do it, I'm not sure. We don't know each other that well. I would say historically speaking, it's like 20%. I don't know, somewhere around there that you would do what you say you were going to do. That's just kind of how it goes in open source volunteer land. And then the probability that you'll understand it once you're doing it all by yourself, even lower. So that's why we're taking a moment now to help you get going if you're interested. And I'm singling you out on purpose, knowing that you've been successful with a number of pull requests already. But it also makes it a little bit uncomfortable for you, I suspect. Is there anybody else that wants to work on these components, on getting these components published? Yep. Ardarsh, did you speak up? Yeah, Ardarsh, you are, okay. Hargan, are you? Anybody?
Hello.
Hargan, there you are.
Hello. Hi.
Hey, we just had you on the agenda, so we're going to circle back to your agenda item in a moment.
Okay. Okay.
Are you ready to work in this area on the system components, on this design system component?
I didn't quite understand the issue. Do we have to make the modals for the buttons or what?
That's a great question. Thank you very much for asking. That's a great question. I'll let Rex answer.
All right, so if you're taking a look at the shared screen currently, you'd see button and you'd see input field, text input rather. Those are two components that have been implemented in the in layer 5 systems page. Now in the designs, if you move further to the right, Sudhanshu, you'd see those two pages far right where they were initially designed and they've been implemented. Now the next set of pages are these 3 pages that contain the modal design. If you can share the website, Sudhanshu, you'd see that under the buttons, there's the guidelines, there's the overview, and then there's the code. So for each component, there are those subsections that have to be populated into the implementation, just as it is in the design. So it's supposed to be replicated. And so the designs are there to serve as a guide. So you just have to, it's literally a copy and paste job, but this time you're doing it from your end with code, just as it has been done in design. So that's literally it. So like each component probably has at least 2 to 3 pages, sometimes 4, depending on how complex they might be. But for now, the max we've had is 3 separate pages for a particular component. So yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. That's the intended approach to it. Did that make any sense? Was that clear?
I'll add one few things more, like Hargun or Adarsh, anybody like to work here. So if you see in this page, like see if you button text input, just have to come, because you don't have to create anything right now from the scratch. You have to come and here create another card which would be models, right? And that model page, when you go to learn more, you'll add like this overview, you have to add these ones, right? And dark and light mode are already supported, so you have to just pass the prop which are coming from Systent. If you have any questions, I'll help with that. So there, just that much only, right? Like next model would be, the next card will be model, another card would be the typography. So like this, all level, etc. So Hargun or Adarsh, do you have any other like questions or doubts related to that, if you are willing to work in this area?
Yes, I'm willing to work in it. Right now, I don't have any doubts, but I'll talk to you while working on it if I have any doubts related to it.
Great. So I've added the issue in the chat. You can click on that link, comment your name under it, and you'll be assigned right away. So I'll go ahead and do that.
Should I reply here in the Zoom chat itself?
No. Click the link to the issue. Go to where the issue is, and then comment under the issue, and I'll
Okay.
have. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Great. Okay. Moving forward to the next topic. Hargun, since you are already here, so we can circle back to your topics. Would you like to discuss of your items progress? Anything you want to discuss?
Um, uh, Regarding this issue itself, the page content update, I had raised a PR for the same.
Okay. Well, have you raised the PR for this? I don't.
Yes, the other number five. Yes, this one.
Okay. So, what are the changes you made here? Like, would you like to give some light on it?
Yes, so I had to change the color codes that were there on the assistant page from the Figma design. So I had changed the files which were there.
Okay.
Got you. So you did a refresh. You exported the images from Figma and then refreshed them on the page on the.
Yes.
Oh, nice. For the color codes for the color scheme. Okay.
Yes, for the changed colors.
I gotcha. Nice. Okay. So yeah, so Hargon, you by the way, is it enunciated Hargon?
It's pronunciated as Hargun.
Hargun. Hargun. Hargun.
So
Or
this is my, sorry.
no, yep, please go ahead.
This is my first time contributing in an open source project, and this was my second issue that you guys were looking at right now.
Dude, I didn't know we're your first. Nah,
Yes.
congrats. This is great.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't know. From the quick look that I saw, I was having a hard time being critical of it. Like, I think you might have a winner. I mean, this could be, we might have to go tweet about this. We might have to go, man, anybody else here that's contributing for the first time? Like, dude, as a matter of fact, Hargun, send me your, if you're a Twitterator, send over your Twitter handle. Let's get a tweet out.
Okay,
That's
sure.
embarrassing. I never miss a
Thank you.
chance to embarrass somebody. I mean, let's do it.
No, thank you so much. I'll share it in the Zoom chat.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any other items to discuss, Arvind?
No, I've been assigned two issues. I'll probably work on it and raise PR for the same within the next 2 days. And then I'll get working on this modal issue if it's fine, if it's okay.
Great. Thanks, Arvind.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to next issue, which is from Poojan. Poojan, would you like to share about your item?
I have raised PR for this issue. I have updated the background color of the choose platform sections for both dark and light mode. This one is for ad items. Second,
Would you mind where was the change you made fix? Okay, I'll go to the issue and share with you. Yes, choose your platform. Here,
yeah,
right?
here when we are clicking on this platforms,
Okay.
Yeah, as you expand any of those, you'll see a set of
Yeah.
instructions, and there's a difference or the same. So click on one if you would. The
I
set
have
of
attached a screenshot on GitHub where I opened the PR.
yeah, this is the deployed preview, I think, for it. If you switch oh, maybe not. This is a deployed preview, but I think Ms. Pujan's changes are not reflected. But she does have a screenshot, like she said on the. So she's just trying to change the background color there so that it's not the same in light mode and dark mode both. And she did one for dark mode, and I think it looks pretty good. It's a fairly dark background.
Yeah.
But then that leaves open the question as to what it should be maybe for light mode.
I have also changed for the light mode. I have attached a screenshot there.
Yeah, I think I'm missing something because I'm not able to see the screenshot.
Maybe.
I have raised the PR. You can go and check there.
Yeah, and so he is on the PR right now. Maybe she put the screenshot onto the issue.
Yeah.
And just for future reference, I think
Okay.
people will look for those screenshots, or they'll look for that type of an update on the pull request most often. So that's why he's not looking at it there. But cool. So Rex might be able to help with some feedback on this one, or Akshay can as well. There is. Yeah, here we go. So currently on the site, this is a light gray background, that dark rounded rectangle. And for my part, as Rex and Akshay go to form an opinion as well. And by the way, anybody else, Hargun and Jonathan and others, you're most encouraged and welcome to offer feedback and ask questions on that. So here, for my part, the dark background, if you were to swap one more time, Sudhanshu, hey, I'm a fan, or like that works for me. Maybe not for other people, I'm not sure, but that seems to be hitting the mark. In the light mode, it's like, well, when you switch back to light mode, there's a tinge of, is it blue? I guess it's, maybe other people have ideas or thoughts on, maybe there's a cool gray, or, maybe there's a form of the charcoal. It's on the tip of Rex's tongue. He's like, oh.
Well, when I saw it, I thought it looked good anyway. It's just the background it's on, it might be an issue, but in dark mode, like you rightly said, dark mode looks good enough. And considering that in the near future, there's going to be a scenario for implementing systems across Layer 5's websites as well, I think this is a good temporary solution, pending when that happens. Except, there are other ideas, other thoughts. At least we can see the text very clearly and the differences there between, both layers. So I think it works for me. So maybe I'll drop a review on the PR, and whoever is in charge can eventually end up merging.
I can see this is the
Cool. Yeah, if you spend any more time on it,
okay, so while
I wonder what it would look like if instead of in the lower left-hand corner, it starts with something of maybe a lighter green-ish. I wonder what would happen if you were to start with it's like a light blue, rather, I guess. It goes from like light blue to I mean, it only takes a split second to do a couple more iterations. Like is just slightly off. Like, why does Lee think it's slightly off? Well, because we're not using blue. In many other places, that doesn't mean that, just because we're not using it somewhere else doesn't mean you can't eventually use it. Otherwise, we'd never use any colors. However, part of being consistent, is it means that maybe there's other places on the site that we would want to infuse blue. And that's a lot more work, and that's a lot more of having to listen to Lee sit here and like ramble on about colors. I don't know. I think what Rex said is true. It's like, oh, hey, it works. It accomplishes the mission of two things. One, this background is differentiated from the page itself, from the light gray on the page. Two, there's a high contrast between the lettering that's on inside of this rounded rectangle. Those two things I think are accomplished, and I'm in agreement with. The third thing that perhaps isn't accomplished is, does it look good? And does it go with the rest of the site? I don't know. That's kind of, that's a qualitative assessment. It's sort of an opinion that, it's sort of your own opinion. There's a couple of ways to objectively look at this. And one of those ways is to say, or is to ask, are these colors meaningful? As one question. Are the colors consistently presented to the user in other areas of the site? And so, Shale, do you mind trying a couple of other iterations using something other than that light blue?
Yeah, okay, I will do the changes.
Perfect, thank you. It only takes me 5 minutes of asking, like
Yeah.
talking before I just ask. What the heck is that? What is that? Go back for a second. What happened here? What's going on? Is this a deploy preview? Oh my goodness. Shale, is this part of the same PR?
I have only
Or you think that you have only made a change to that background, but maybe you did, although
once I will look on the code.
Yep, turns out that CSS can be
Yeah, okay.
broadly. One thing that I would request is that within this code itself, Sudhanshu, if you were to revisit the PR in general, so this site, for everyone that's on the call, this site is based on Jekyll. It just happens to be the framework that's being used. In this case, we're choosing to use Sass instead of just straight CSS, using Sass to help as a little more powerful way of interacting with CSS. And within this root, this file, you can see it on the screen. It's under the Sass folder. It's called root variables. If you change any of those, is it Shale, by the way? Is that how you enunciate it? It couldn't be that easy. That would be too easy. How do you say it, Pujin? You say it Shale? Sudhanshu, help me out, man. Is it Shale? Akshay.
I think yes. Shell.
Hello.
Yep. I can hear you.
Yeah, hello.
Great. Okay. How do you enunciate your first name?
It's Shell Pujin.
Shell.
Yeah, Shell.
Shell. Oh, it's getting okay. Shell. Yeah, if you make any changes to these root variables, that will have a broad scoping effect across the site. And so that is why you're seeing a different color.
Okay.
If you would, I would encourage you to.
I can add colors on the root variables.
Yeah, but don't. Yeah, you could, and that wouldn't have a negative effect. I'm saying don't because there's already a lot of choices. It's the easiest, and I would argue the laziest. And I'm not saying that you're lazy necessarily. We will see how over time, but like it's the laziest thing to do. It's like, I don't understand what any of this is. I'll just make up a new one. And guess what? After, I don't know, almost 2,000 contributors to Meshery, it gets pretty sloppy and pretty messy. And so take a moment to try to reuse. There's a bunch of colors within here,
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, good, great.
One more PR I have raised is add items in future page.
Features is okay. Yeah, Shah would like to tell what changes you made. Yes. I'm audible, right? Shall.
Yes, but Shell is not
Hello,
responsive all
hello,
the
hello.
time.
Yeah.
We should.
Yes, yes.
Yep. Hey, Michelle, are you either present what you're, don't make Sudhanshu present on your behalf. You know, like come prepared to demo your PRs and talk about what you've changed and why, if you would, for future reference.
Okay.
So very good. So you've made a change on this page, is that right? Yeah, Shale, do you have another pull request that you wanted to present?
No, it's all done.
All done.
One issue was you have opened the issue tomorrow, yesterday. That was issue number, recent issue you have issued yesterday.
Yeah, very good. And then did you just have a question about?
Yeah. This first one, yes. But
Oh no, don't make me prove my point. Oh no, please don't. I took a recording. Oh dear Lord, please don't. Yeah, so I was using Safari to the extent that that matters, but it doesn't, or it shouldn't. I marked the exact pixel 1138, but you couldn't, you had a hard time reproducing, right? I'm just guessing. Shale, you're going to learn to respond quickly, or we're just going to talk
yeah,
over.
but this issue is not happening on our local system.
Got you. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Let me try to reproduce for you, or if somebody else wants to try to reproduce. I'm supposed to be a fly on the wall in this meeting. So here's Chrome. I'll use a different browser to see if we can't, if it is maybe browser specific. And I guess I'm in responsive mode at the moment just to get some sort of tight control and kind of show what's happening. So if I take the width of the browser, we're in mobile mode, so to speak. I think, in terms of the menu here. And
Yeah.
so I'm just going to give us some room to play with. So I'm going to make so the overall height of my browser is this much, but in responsive mode, I get to, control. So I'm going to drag it out. We're at 1138.
1141, I guess. 1141. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Here, like this, to me, it looks like the menu is in a perpetually usable state, which is good. That's what we would want. 1139, 1130. Like I don't see where I'm not seeing that issue in Chrome. If we
Yeah.
do it in Safari, so here's, oops. Okay, well, so here's Safari, and I will go into, I guess, like developer mode in Safari. So it looks a little bit different, but here's the width of the browser. Actually, I think we can do it about fairly similar. Let's see if so here's the width of the browser out here, and then width of the test browser, so to speak. 1124. We're still in. It's kind of weird. We're at 100%, 1150. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not in 11. We're in 1000. Closer, 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 closer. We're still okay. We're still okay here. Oh no. And so we get to, I don't know, just past that. And the menu itself starts to get, at the moment, like the menu, I don't know if you can see, but notice the scroll bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, the menu is, if I make it a little bit bigger, okay, we're back in business. If I come, there's sort of a sweet spot of maybe where we have media queries that aren't quite, aligned, I'm assuming. And it seems to, at least in this test that we just did, it seems to be affecting or not affecting Chrome. It does seem to be affecting Safari. I don't know if it affects Firefox or others. But,
It's also not affecting on Brave also. Brave and yeah.
on Brave. So it might require that the contributor has Safari. So I'm going to update the issue to make that note. You don't happen to be on a Mac, are you?
No, I'm not on that.
Okay. Anybody else on a Mac here? Anybody else have access to Safari?
I do.
Oh, very good. Yep. And say it again. Who just said they do?
Me, Vanshika.
Oh, Vanshika. Oh, very good. Do you mind taking a look at that particular issue?
Sure.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'll put the link to the issue in the chat, and when you comment on the issue, then it can be assigned to you, and so you'll have a look. Little bit of trivia for everybody today. What's the world's most popular or most well-used browser?
Chrome.
Sarah, yeah. Say which one?
Chrome.
Chrome. That's right. Yep. Chrome. Ding, ding, ding. Chrome. What's the world's second most popular browser?
Safari.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I know it's a sad, sad thing, but it's true. It's Safari, so we have to deal with it. If it was fourth on the list, it would be like, maybe not. But between those two, Chrome and Safari, those top two, we'll want to spend time and make sure that they work. And so anyway, it super sucks that Safari is only available on Mac OS. It used to be available on Windows, but that was so many years ago. Oh, thanks, Sudhanshu. That's great.
Okay. Let's move forward to the next issue. Next issue is from Akshay. Akshay, would you like to discuss about this blog org and works feature?
Okay, so in this we are recently implemented the organization switcher. We are in progress to implement the workspace switcher as well in Meshri. So we have recently integrated that part. Now let me give you just a brief about what organization and workspaces are. So if you have joined recently, let me tell you about Layer 5 Cloud, which is a cloud provider. And in this cloud provider, you get to join different organization or create your own when you first sign up. And in different organizations, you can have users and teams and what roles they are assigned to, like their organization role. I'm the admin, so I can invite other people. So there are different roles and you can assign to them. Now, inside organization is like the top level. Inside organization, we have spaces, and spaces is something more cool and interesting part, because spaces is like a virtual space where you can share resources and environment as well as integrations with your team members. So we have different environments here. You can assign them designs what they can particularly access, and that's the whole blog about it. Just give a brief about the organization and what are the key features of having those organization and workspaces. And It's been recently implemented in Meshly. That's why we are publishing a blog here. Yeah, that would be it.
Cool. Hey, this is a great example. Akshay, this makes for a great example for everyone else. So Akshay, you just got done like bringing forth a new feature, a new capability inside of Meshry UI, the org switcher, the workspace switcher. Pretty cool, actually, because it goes across all of the pages and it goes across Meshry's extensions as well. So it's that's a big deal. And this serves as a good example for everybody else that when behaviors are changed, whether it's a new feature or an existing feature, that's an opportunity for you as a contributor to blog about it. And so Akshay is doing just that. He's going to have this blog post out this week, and we'll probably do more tweeting, probably do more talking about what you guys are doing. This is pretty cool. Multi-tenancy. Yeah. Nice. Great.
It doesn't seem like we are writing less about organization, just about and workspaces.
Yes, say a little bit more if you could. I agree. Like there might be a little bit missing here. That it might be Akshay that you could offer an example of its use, like just maybe in just some fake way. Like, hey, if you're in an organization that has, or if you're at a company or you're at an organization that has. I'm trying to use different words other than organizations and teams, but if you have different groups of people and you're wanting to break them into different teams, into different orgs, you can. I think, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, the inclusion of the graphic is quite helpful. And maybe even as if you're describing multi-tenancy, maybe even to highlight what that vertical light blue, light green line means, just stuff. Or
Okay.
and an example of like, hey, if you're in the finance team, you might be the finance org over here, IT group over here, and within the IT group, there are multiple teams. One's the database team, and one's the front end team, and like, and here's why you might want to switch between them and keep your views distinct or something. But I mean, but yeah, but it's quite clean what's written, and the inclusion of graphics is wonderful. It's going to be ready very quickly for publishing. So this is great. One thing that's always nice, and maybe you've got it already, I think right there in your first paragraph, you've got, I'm assuming those two links are links to docs. So that's wonderful. Like, if the blog post doesn't necessarily have to regurgitate all the things that you would find in docs, but it just gives, with the links that are included, it gives people an opportunity to just quickly become aware of the new feature. And if they have if they want to dig in further, they can. So that's great. It's good. Anybody else have feedback for Akshay? Yeah. Yeah, we need more blog posts. It's good.
Okay. So if we don't have any other more, let's move to another item, which is from Momza. Do we have Momza on the call?
Yes, I'm on the
Yes,
call.
yeah. Like, would you like to tell about your progress or in this item?
Yeah, sure. Should I go on to present my screen?
Yeah, sure.
I hope you can all see my screen.
Yes, please.
I'm not sure if Vivek is on call. I opened up a PR on here, and unfortunately, I think I had issues when I was trying to clone the project, because when I pushed my code, uh, it sort of seemed to show as if I had overhauled the entire code, yet I just made a single change. If I could show, if I can find it.
Yeah, I mean, likely that's from your linter, like Prettier or ESLint or some, but yeah, were you editing in an IDE like VS Code?
Yes, I was editing in VS Code. However, I don't think it was a linter. I were having internet issues here, so I instead of cloning it via Git, I downloaded the zip
Oh,
file.
yeah, that'll do it.
So I think there was an issue because when I pushed my code, it couldn't reflect the change I had made. It sort of showed as if I'd changed the entire code. So I ended up opening up another PR with a well set up set, but Vivek's not here, so I don't think he has seen it yet. So I think when he tried to preview, as you can all see here, the image had not been replaced. However, in my local environment, as you can see, I had changed the image with the patterns icon as he had wanted. This is my local setup. So he wanted to have this image instead of the service mesh icon. He wanted patterns one. So it seems to be working quite fine on my side. I don't know if you will see the PR I created. So as you can see, this one clearly shows the single change I've made versus the first PR I did, which kind of showed that I changed the entire code. I had a few more questions for if Lee maybe could clarify, probably if he gets back, as regards the changing the images according to the theme, because I only got one SVG, so I wasn't certain if I should use the same SVG link for both the path here and down here. So I didn't have these changed. I only changed the path for the image itself. If anyone is willing to clarify, maybe, and shed a little more light.
Can you go to the deployment preview once? Yeah.
My
So if you can see,
IDE
no, if you go to the PR again,
or the PR. Okay.
Yeah, there will be a deployment preview. Yeah, that link, up above, just above. Yeah, more above. Just scroll more.
Scroll up.
Yeah, that deploy preview. I think that coming from the Netlify bot.
Netlify bot.
Yeah, this deployment preview and the column of the
this one.
link. Yeah,
This
yeah.
one.
Yeah, please. If you click on it, so you can just verify that is that dark mode images necessary or not. If it looks like same, then we'll keep with the same one. So if we go to the catalog, yes.
Well, the development preview, as I mentioned earlier, Vivek seemed to say it wasn't reflecting the code. Okay, but it's reflecting quite fine to me. Let me see if I change between. Let me just have the light mode on. This is what it looks like in the light mode and in the dark mode as well. However, as I said, I hadn't changed the links as described by Lee in the contributing guide. So Lee, maybe if you could shed a little more light on the subject.
Yeah, to recap, is the current situation that on your local machine, you're seeing a certain behavior, and in the deployment preview, you're seeing a different behavior?
No, it's actually the same for me. Vivek said he was having issues, but I've just previewed and it's actually quite fine on my side.
Okay, then yeah, I mean, if it's just his issue, like if the deployment preview is showing what is you're expecting, then we're okay. Like Vivek wouldn't have, I doubt that he would have checked out the code and built just because of how many PRs he has to review.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if the deploy preview looks good, then, and your code changes look good, then, then we can
Yeah.
ignore what you're saying.
I had just one more question that I had asked before you came back. In the guide for the contributing guide, you mentioned path for the SVG for dark themes and light theme.
Yeah.
Right here. I only got one image path, which I used here. So I don't know if I should use the same down here or if I should leave it. I don't know how you could advise.
Yeah, in this case, the same colorized logo with the two-toned green, the two tones of green, it can be used in both light and dark mode. It works either way. There is an alternative version of that logo that is white, and it just has different, it's white. And that conceptually is built for dark mode. Having said that, though, it doesn't look as pretty as the colorized two-toned green. And so, yeah, you can just use the same image for both light and dark mode. If you do end up specifying which image path to use for light mode and which image path to use for dark mode, yeah, you just end up using the same path. Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. One other thing, where could I directly find these links? Probably for future reference, maybe.
Yeah. On the left-hand side of the folders that we see, that there's a few different sets of images. This particular one for the pattern logo, I would need to hunt and peck just like you would for a moment. If you look under assets, my guess is that it's under assets, under images, logos. Or yeah, keep going to the P's if you would for pattern. Usually service mesh. Yeah.
I don't see P's.
All right. And I think that service mesh pattern is probably the one that we're trying to replace. So it might be under patterns, or there's a page on here that Rex has helped with. It's anyway, there's a brand page, Meshray.io/brand, that will have logos that you can download. The thing is you don't need to download those and use them because we already have the image in the site itself. It's just a matter of searching for the file name. If you search the code base for the file name, then you'll find where it's located.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Nice. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
So we are already over time. I will for a few more seconds if there are any important items to discuss, or we have discussed most of the items listed in the agendas.
I think we missed Jonathan's item earlier. I don't know if we can quickly circle back to him and check that. He didn't add the link.
Course.
I don't know if he's still on the call though.
Can you repeat, Rex? Who's
I said I don't know if Jonathan is still on the call.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, cool. Maybe we can just take his item and then we'll wrap up since
Okay.
this was the first and
Okay.
missed it earlier.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would like
do
to
you
share
want to share
the
my screen and show the,
Yeah, please do, please.
okay. Um, yeah, so, oh shoot, hold on. The problem is that I'm sorry, there's this thing that's right in front of my browser.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Cool. So let's see, so it's the about, it's this here. It's this thing, this sort of border or this menu item. And part of the problem comes from is that it's used throughout this throughout these with color, spacing, and typography, where you have this is lined up with this section here. And so in about, there's not that same section, right? So it's kind of lined up underneath. And so essentially what I've done in the about is this is sort of like right here is one div, and then this is pushed up to the top. So in the live preview, essentially what I've done is essentially not pushed up this about section so that this div sits level with the about with this button. And so when you scroll, it does that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It makes sense. In some respects, you're having to work around for a lack of content on the page. And Rex, it seems like this is not a complete representation of what Systent is, how it's to be used, where people can put it to use. We want to be able to have a source of truth is like, yeah, not really. I mean, sure, kind of, but that's not it's in bold and stuff, and it looks like that. Anyway, and I guess what I'm trying to say is, Jonathan, one thing we need to do is make sure that there's a lot more content on this page because this is under-described. Rex can help ensure that that happens. In the meantime, I get what this makes sense how you're pulling it up. If you take a look at the CSS that you have, it might be brittle, not directly so much as the code that you have is brittle, more like indirectly when there is additional content here, what might happen based on the CSS that's being used. So if you go back to your CSS real quick. I
have the diff open here.
Oh, nice. That's great. Really helpful.
Yeah. So yeah, this is how that margin is getting pushed up. So essentially I just kind of reversed it, right? So it's just sort of sitting more naturally in the page. Yeah, I mean, if this was if there was more content, I mean, that would be another way to essentially fix that issue.
So I definitely don't desire to take away from Jonathan's changes. The issue becomes at some point when Rex or others do get the actual content that should be there and should have been there some long time ago, and Rex, for some reason, it still isn't there. But when that comes through, it will inevitably, what will happen is we'll end up with a bug because the person putting in the content will be like, yeah, such and such. And then they'll be wondering why it is that page is all like.
But now, Oh, it's,
Yeah.
so I do have a question. I think that this works across the pages, though. I might be incorrect about that, but we can look at the other, like if we look at color, right, is that so, no, this is, I'm sorry, I'm the wrong. This is the demo. Oh, right. So this might be not what you want. This now sits flush with up
No,
here.
actually, I think you're right. Like, actually, I would agree with you that, like, hey, actually, in general, irrespective of the about page, from my perspective, if it was being designed from scratch, I would be in the same boat with you, saying, hey, yeah, this sub table of content, or this like intra page table of contents, like, hey, why is that thing starting halfway down the page? Or, why wouldn't it be flush with the top at the start of the content of the page? Like, no, actually, I have to take back what I was saying a second ago, that if we recharacterize your change as not being specific to overcoming a shortcoming of the about page, but rather if we present your change in context of just like something that's just better for all the pages, then I'm with you. Like, yeah, hey, you would want that up at the start of the page. Like that is what people expect.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and then there was one comment about the border here, because I did add more border, because I'm sorry, I'm pointing at the screen, but no one can see it. So right here, I did add more, that's another part of the change, as I added more width to the infra wrapper to push it away from the side of the screen. But
I got you. Yeah, something to help you assess and everyone else is to try playing with the responsiveness of or try playing with the various sizes of the browser, the width of the browser, to see if it feels right. Like it might feel much better, the change that you have, and more comfortable on a larger screen. But as things get scrunched or not, like that would be the test that I would put it through. It's like, and so, I mean, so far so good. I mean, so far that looks like it was behaving like you might hope for it to. I think, yeah. Is your change taking the column and pushing it a little more to the right, or is it taking that column and pushing it a little more to the left?
let's see, I think I just put like, it's this one here. It's just making the column wider. And then it sits in the center of that column. Or no, it sits, yeah, there's padding, but then it also sits to the left.
I'm with you. Yes. So the nice part about making that column wider is when you have like a 3-word, like green color accessibility, like it has an opportunity to all be on the same line rather than perpetually being, line wrapped.
The only thing that happens here is like when it switches to just a single column, it is pretty close on the side right here. Oh, shoot. So no, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what you want me to do going forward on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Akshay and others, do you guys have feedback? You guys have thoughts on?
I will put my reviews on the PR itself.
Yeah. Any initial and that makes sense, right? Like to really sometimes, yeah, I mean, it makes sense that you might have to comb through it. But was that part of the effect that you were looking to avoid, Jonathan? Were you looking to avoid perpetually line wrapped menu items?
Well, so the issue was that it's just that it was sitting really far down, right? So I mean, like
Yeah.
the issue just said that they wanted this up, but I wasn't 100% sure if we were lining it with this, if you want it lined with this line essentially, or at the top of this paragraph.
Yeah, I'm with you, that it being a bit higher up is an easy argument to make, I think. You know, that's an improvement.
One thing, John, you have to see that this component, this scroll, and this one is coming, is like a reusable one. So have you gone to the other pages, how that structure is look like?
So, okay, so the only place I can look more into that, this component, essentially what it's the issue was with this component, right? And then the only place I found it being used was with color, right? Here, let me go back to the changes. So with the color, and so that looks pretty good still. And then spacing as well, right? So that works there. The only thing I see that might be a problem is I might want to have more space, you know, at the end of this at the end of this column, essentially, is this div. But then otherwise the form still works with all the other and then it lines up with the top of the paragraph. And I don't think it's used. Yeah, that's something different.
Yeah. It might not be the same code, but it's worth, in the Zoom chat, there's a link to a different section of the site that this other section of the site is the community handbook. And that community handbook, it predates this area. And I think this area that we're looking at is inspired from that intra-page menu. So I'll share it here on the screen. So there's a community handbook out there. And inside the community handbook, there's various pages, just randomly clicking one. Each page has a similar intra-page table of contents or intra-page navigator. At one point, and it may still be the case, that this is not dynamic, which is crap, I think, and needs to be enhanced. This should just be dynamic based on whatever this says is exactly what it should say over here. It shouldn't be hand-coded. And I think that that's still the case, that it's manure, that it's crap like that. And so I think at this point between where Jonathan, where you're looking and over here, I think these are two separate implementations, but it's worth contrasting them. One, worth contrasting them for the style, making sure that our behavior across the pages on the same site is consistent. These look like they're a little further down. And so, you know, as you look at raising up the starting point of the menu, it might be that you'd want, and if that's justified and that feels good, look, to me, it does feel good and it makes sense. There are other people on the call that might have a different opinion, but assuming that it made sense to them as well, you would be in a great position to say, okay, well, so the same logic follows over here. We would want to bump that up as well. Like, you know, why is this sitting so low down here as well? And then after all that, there would be, I think you'd be in a wonderful position to also say, hey, why is this being hand coded? Because isn't this brittle code? Like, wouldn't this easily get out of sync over time? Why do some pages seem to not even have it at all? And so,
Are you sharing?
Oh shit! This whole time I'm not sharing. Damn it! Damn it! Oh man! Somebody needs to slap me before we go through all that crap. Okay. Here's the community handbook. There's various pages. I'll just repeat. So I click on a page. It has the menu items. They're a little bit low. They don't seem to start right at the top. There seems to be a little bit of a gap. If we look at different pages, some of it, that gap is less exaggerated, depending upon, I think, whether or not there's a heading on the page, maybe. But so Jonathan's in a good position to say, hey, maybe we should make sure that this is consistent, move this up, not just in the assistant pages, but over here as well. And then Jonathan would hopefully also say, wait a second, why general contribution flow? Where's general contribution flow over here? Oh, it's not reflected because this is not automatically generated. This is like hand coded. So that shouldn't be the case, and it's crap code. This is from one of our meshmates, whom I wish was on the call so I could tell her to her face that she was lazy in doing it. And I did tell her that at the time, but it didn't make a difference. So for Jonathan, though, it seems like he's got a winner, at least in so much as moving the menu items up. Maybe it's an open question as to, he's looking to help ensure that we're not line wrapping perpetually all of the menu items, because GitHub organizations and repositories, it's 2 lines, and it's basically going to always be 2 lines. Oh wait, I guess if we get wide enough, maybe it gets there. But he's trying to ensure that on most screens, maybe that generally doesn't happen. Maybe this is afforded some more room. I'm not, Rex and maybe some others can help chime in on, can help weigh in on that change, the merits of that change. I mean, generally, we want to encourage Jonathan and others to change stuff, suggest stuff. Sometimes, just like Shale was demonstrating earlier, sometimes a change in one area will affect others. Jonathan is aware of that. He's being careful to confirm the scope of his changes so that they're limited to the particular components that he's working on. And I think that they are, which is kind of a shame, because ideally, when Jonathan makes a change to an intra-page navigator in one section of the site, it would affect the rest, because ideally we were reusing, in an intelligent way, but we're not. So, yeah, Jonathan, man, thanks for being up early. This is helpful. Akshay said he was going to put some more thoughts on the PR as well. So, yeah.
Cool, yeah, that'd be
Thanks,
great. And I can look into implementing it elsewhere if that's something you want to do.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, Sudhanshu, Rex, hopefully you in particular can help. Well, and hey, Jonathan, you're welcome to open up, just based on this conversation, and unless other people are disagreeing or have a difference of perspective. If I were you, I would take liberty to go open up a new issue and suggest, hey, we're about to be, we're about to have 2 different experiences on the same site, and I would open up an issue and charge forth, or even or even potentially address it in the same issue, the same PR, either way. Man, it turns out if I just keep talking, Akshay, Rex, and Sudhanshu just won't say anything.
You said most of the law of it, and I think you're not entirely wrong. Most of what you covered was from the code end, and I definitely wouldn't have had much to say anyway. So the change looks good, but if it affects the code, then maybe it might need to be looked at again, and hopefully actually would come in from that end of things. And I think we should
Yeah, I
wrap
just
it.
added one issue. I don't know it is related to the same PR, but I added one of the issue in the mobile where there is unnecessary white space in between of the heading. I attached it with the same PR. You can look in that as well.
Okay. Thanks, Akshay, for quickly jumping on it. So yeah, I think it's time to wrap the call. So before wrapping, don't miss the next Veshi development call to join, which is at Wednesday. I shared this link, so you have to just click this button and it will save it in your calendar. So I'll just share this link. And yeah. So yeah, this was thanks for joining the website call, and we'll see you next Wednesday, this Wednesday.
Next Monday.
Bye everyone.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Hi, Ramanje.